Okay, so get that we're diving into AI ethics today.
Uh-huh.
And, we're always hearing about AI getting smarter and smarter.
Right.
But what if AI is actually like starting to learn ethical behavior?
Yeah.
Not just like following, programmed rules,
Mhm.
but picking up on like what we consider right and wrong as humans.
It's a fascinating area of research, and AI is actually absorbing these ethical principles just by observing us
Really?
and even prompting us to examine our own choices.
Oh, wow.
It's a two-way street, We're shaping AI,
Right.
but it's subtly shaping us too.
Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of research and articles here
Yeah.
that are talking about this whole AI ethics thing,
Right.
healthcare, self-driving cars, social media.
Right.
They're all being transformed by AI that's learning to kind of like
Yeah.
navigate the human world with all of its values.
Well, one area where this is really taking off is healthcare.
Okay.
We're seeing AI systems being trained on data from ethically sound medical decisions.
So like instead of just crunching numbers,
Yes.
learning like the human side of medicine.
Yeah, and there was a study where an AI diagnostic system was trained on data from doctors who were known for their ethical approach to patient care,
Oh, wow.
and the results were amazing.
Really?
The AI was much more likely to suggest treatments that prioritized patient well-being and avoided bias compared to a system that was just trained on raw data.
So it's almost like it's absorbing like the doctor's ethical reasoning,
Exactly.
not just like their medical knowledge.
Precisely. It's learning to factor in things like patient autonomy and informed consent, which are central to ethical medical practice.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So, okay, AI is learning to be a good doctor, ethically speaking.
Right.
What about something like self-driving cars?
Mm-hmm.
How are they picking up on ethical behavior?
Well, self-driving systems use massive data sets of human driving to learn how to navigate the roads. But they're not just learning the rules of the road.
Right.
They're observing how human drivers make decisions in complex situations.
So like by example, watching how we react like in real world scenarios.
And researchers have found that when these systems are trained on data that includes defensive driving techniques and human responses in risky situations, they're actually becoming more cautious and making safer decisions.
So maybe even safer than us.
Potentially.
That's a little unnerving, but also pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the wild west of the internet, social media.
Mm-hmm.
How is AI learning ethics in that chaotic environment?
Content moderation is a great example. AI is getting really good at spotting things like hate speech and misinformation.
Okay.
And not just by following rules, but by learning from human moderators and user feedback.
So it's picking up on the nuances of online communication.
Yeah, that's the key.
Like understanding the context
Exactly.
and the intent behind what people are saying.
It's using natural language processing and sentiment analysis to go beyond just the words themselves and decipher the emotional tone and the meaning.
Wow. But could it really tell the difference between like a sarcastic comment and actual hate speech?
That's what's so impressive. Studies have shown that these systems are getting better at distinguishing between things like satire and genuinely harmful content.
Wow.
They're learning to pick up on those subtle cues that even we humans sometimes miss.
It's like AI is becoming this ethical detective online,
Right?
sniffing out bad behavior.
Right.
This is giving me hope for like a less toxic internet.
Yeah.
But this is only half the story, right? It's not just AI learning from us.
Right.
What about AI making us more aware of our own ethical choices?
Yeah, you're right. This is where the concept of ethical feedback loops comes into play.
Okay.
So imagine an AI giving you real-time feedback on your online interactions, nudging you towards more inclusive language or flagging potential bias in your choices.
Hold on. You're saying that AI could actually call us out on our bad behavior?
In a way,
Yes.
it's like having an AI ethics coach in your pocket.
I kind of like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So what would that look like in real life?
Well, think of a hiring system that flags potential bias in your candidate choices. It might notice that you're consistently overlooking qualified candidates from certain demographic groups,
Right.
even if you're not consciously aware of it.
Uh-huh.
Or imagine an AI chatbot that gently suggests that you rephrase a comment that could be perceived as offensive, even if you didn't intend it that way.
Okay, I see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
It's like AI is helping us to see our own blind spots,
Exactly.
those unconscious biases that we all kind of carry around.
These systems can be powerful tools for self-reflection, pushing us to examine our assumptions and make more conscious ethical choices.
So it's not just about AI becoming more ethical.
Right.
It's about AI making us more ethical,
Exactly.
which is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
And it's not always about being explicitly told what's right or wrong.
Okay.
Sometimes it's about AI challenging norms and prompting us to rethink our deeply ingrained biases.
Like how so?
For instance, AI-driven content moderation can flag language that perpetuates harmful stereotypes,
Right.
even if we might not initially recognize it as problematic.
That's a good point. It's like AI is helping us to evolve our understanding of what's ethical, especially as social norms and values change over time.
Right.
It's not just about like catching the bad guys. It's about helping all of us to communicate in a more thoughtful and inclusive way.
Exactly. AI is becoming a catalyst for broader societal conversations about ethics,
Okay.
forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about our own behavior and reevaluate our communication styles.
So this ethical influence goes beyond just language then.
It does. AI is also being designed to actively promote pro-social behavior, particularly in areas like healthcare and customer service.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
How does AI actually encourage people to be nicer to each other?
Well, imagine you're interacting with an AI chatbot for customer service. And this AI is specifically programmed to model empathy and understanding even when dealing with frustrated or angry customers.
Okay.
What's interesting is that the AI's behavior can actually rub off on us, inspiring us to be more patient and compassionate in our own interactions.
So it's setting a good example, showing us how to be more understanding and supportive,
Exactly.
even in those challenging situations.
Studies have shown that healthcare professionals who use AI systems that prioritize empathy in patient communication actually show increased empathy themselves over time.
That's amazing.
It's like some of those positive ethical traits are rubbing off on the humans.
I love the idea of AI being like a force for good in the world,
Yeah.
inspiring us to be kinder and more considerate. This ethical exchange between humans and AI is fascinating.
It is.
But I do have a question, like what happens when AI and humans disagree on what's ethical?
Right.
Like who gets the final say?
That's a really important question, and it's one that researchers are grappling with right now.
Yeah.
This mutual learning process is all about iterative feedback.
Yep.
AI learns from our feedback, and we in turn learn from its insights.
Gotcha.
It's a continuous cycle of ethical improvement, like having a partner in ethical growth.
So it's not about one side dictating the rules.
Right.
It's about this ongoing dialogue.
Exactly.
You're both AI and humans are constantly learning and evolving.
And here's what's really interesting. What AI learns about ethics in one area, say, healthcare can be applied to other fields like finance or education.
Oh, wow.
It's like ethical knowledge is becoming transferable, creating this ripple effect of positive change.
Okay, so we've got this fascinating feedback loop where AI learns from us.
Right.
We learn from AI. And those ethical insights can even jump from one field to another.
Yeah,
This is some pretty mind-blowing stuff.
it is.
But I have to ask, like, what does this all mean for the average person?
Right.
How will this ethical dance between humans and AI actually impact our lives?
Well, this isn't just some abstract philosophical debate. It has real-world implications for all of us. The choices we make today, how we design AI, the data we feed it, the values we prioritize, will shape the AI of tomorrow. And that AI, in turn, will shape us, influencing our decisions and shaping our understanding of what's right and wrong.
It's almost like we're co-creating the future of ethics.
Exactly.
Both humans and AI working together. That's both exciting and a little bit intimidating, wouldn't you say?
It is, but it also presents an incredible opportunity.
Okay.
By understanding this reciprocal learning process, we can actively guide the development of AI, ensuring that it aligns with our values and helps us build a better future.
This has been an amazing dive into the world of AI ethics so far.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground already, from AI learning from our ethical decisions to AI actually making us more ethically aware. And there's so much more to explore. Let's take a moment to process all of this, and we'll be right back to dive even deeper.
It's amazing to think about how far AI has come. We've been talking about AI learning ethics from doctors and drivers,
Right.
but it's even starting to understand something as complex as human emotions.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that AI can, like, read our emotions now?
Well, not quite mind reading, but AI is getting really good at understanding the emotional tone and the intent behind our words.
Okay.
It's called sentiment analysis, and it's being used in some pretty incredible ways.
Okay. Color me intrigued. What kind of ways are we talking about?
Well, think about fields like mental health, customer service, even crisis management.
Uh-huh.
AI is being used to interpret those subtle emotional cues and respond in a way that's both helpful and ethically sensitive.
So like an AI therapist or counselor? That could
Exact.
be a game changer, especially for people who maybe don't have access to traditional mental health resources.
Imagine an AI-powered mental health app that can analyze your text messages or your social media posts and pick up on signs of distress or depression.
Wow.
It could offer support, connect you with resources, or even suggest reaching out to a human professional if needed.
That's incredible. It's like having a compassionate AI friend who's always looking out for you.
Right.
But how does this tie back to the whole AI learning ethics thing we were talking about earlier?
Well, these AI systems are trained on data that reflects human values, particularly in how we respond to emotions.
Okay.
They learn to differentiate between expressions of genuine distress and, say, someone just venting about their day.
Right.
They learn to adopt a supportive and empathetic tone rather than offering generic or potentially harmful advice.
So it's not just about recognizing the emotion.
Right.
It's about responding in a way that aligns with our human ethical standards of care and compassion.
Precisely. And this is where that human feedback loop comes into play again.
Okay.
We're constantly providing data that helps these systems refine their understanding of ethical behavior, especially in the context of emotions.
So it's like we're teaching AI to be emotionally intelligent, not just intellectually intelligent.
It really is. And this idea of infusing technology with human values extends beyond just sentiment analysis.
Okay.
We're seeing it in how AI is being used to enhance accountability and transparency, especially in areas like law enforcement and social services.
Okay. Now we're getting into some serious territory. How is AI promoting ethical behavior in these high-stakes fields?
Take law enforcement, for example. We're seeing AI systems being used to assist with decision-making, like identifying potential bias in human judgments, flagging inconsistencies in sentencing, or even ensuring that due process is followed.
So it's like having an AI watchdog,
Exactly.
making sure that everything is done by the book, ethically speaking.
And here's the interesting part. These systems often require human users to justify their decisions or document their reasoning, which adds a layer of accountability.
Oh, okay.
It's like AI is encouraging a culture of ethical reflection and responsibility.
That makes a lot of sense. Like AI is prompting us to think more critically about our choices and be more aware of the consequences, especially when those choices impact other people's lives.
Precisely. And studies have shown that this kind of AI-driven accountability can actually lead to real improvements in ethical decision-making.
Oh, wow.
For example, law enforcement officers who use AI systems that require them to explain their actions tend to show greater adherence to ethical guidelines over time.
That's really encouraging. It sounds like AI can help us to overcome our own biases and make more consistent ethical choices.
Right.
But let's be real. Not everyone is going to be thrilled about the idea of AI playing such a big role in these sensitive areas. What about concerns about, the potential for AI to make mistakes or be misused?
Those are absolutely valid concerns, and it's crucial that we address them head on.
Okay.
Remember, AI systems are only as good as the data they're trained on.
Right.
If that data reflects existing societal biases, the AI will likely perpetuate those biases.
So garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly. That's why it's so important to ensure that the data used to train these systems is diverse, representative, and carefully vetted for potential problems.
But it sounds like AI can also be part of the solution here, right?
Absolutely. AI can actually be a powerful tool for detecting and mitigating bias.
Okay.
By analyzing vast data sets, it can identify patterns of discrimination that humans might miss. It can flag potential problems and even suggest ways to make systems more equitable and fair.
So it's like AI is holding up a mirror to us, helping us to see where we might be falling short and encouraging us to do better.
That's a great way to put it. It's about using AI to illuminate our blind spots and challenge our assumptions.
Right.
And it's important to remember that this is an ongoing process.
Oh.
As AI evolves, so too will our understanding of the ethical considerations. It's a constant back and forth, a journey of mutual learning and improvement.
Okay, so we've talked about AI influencing ethical behavior in healthcare, self-driving cars, content moderation, sentiment analysis, even law enforcement.
Right.
Is there any area of our lives that isn't being touched by this ethical dance between humans and AI?
It's hard to think of one.
Yeah.
From finance to education to entertainment, AI is becoming increasingly integrated into everything we do.
Right.
And as AI becomes more sophisticated, so too will its influence on our ethical decision-making.
So what you're saying is we're all becoming part of this grand experiment in AI ethics, whether we realize it or not.
In a way, yes. Our choices, our values, our interactions with AI, they're all shaping the ethical landscape of the future.
Wow.
It's both exciting and a bit daunting. But by understanding this reciprocal learning process, by engaging in open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI, we can help to ensure that this technology is used for good.
This is some pretty heavy stuff.
Whoa.
We're talking about the future of ethics, the future of humanity, and the role that AI will play in shaping both. We've covered a lot of ground already, but we're not done yet. There's still so much more to explore. We'll be right back to delve into the potential benefits and challenges of this ethical collaboration between humans and AI. Stay tuned for more. It's been a wild ride today, exploring how AI is learning from us,
Right.
but also making us think about our own choices.
Mm-hmm.
Really fascinating how AI is pushing us to rethink what it means to be ethical.
Yeah, it really highlights how we're becoming so interconnected with this technology.
Right.
It's not just a tool we use, it's more like a partner,
Right.
one that's helping us learn and grow ethically.
It's funny because, we often think of AI as this cold and calculating force, but it's actually helping us tap into our own humanity in a way,
Yeah.
encouraging us to be more empathetic and more compassionate.
I think you're right. It's holding up a mirror to our own ethical complexities,
Yeah.
challenging us to really examine our biases and behaviors.
So it's making us ask ourselves, are we actually living up to our own ideals?
Exactly, and how can we do better?
This whole conversation has me thinking about the future. What does this all mean for the generations to come? What kind of world are we creating?
That's the big question, isn't it? The choices we make today will impact the future.
Yeah.
If we prioritize ethics in how we design AI, if we focus on creating AI that reflects our values,
Right.
we can build a world where technology helps us become our best selves.
A world where AI helps us overcome our limitations and make better decisions.
Exactly. Be more understanding and compassionate.
That's a vision I can definitely get behind.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. There are some risks and challenges too.
Of course.
What are some things we need to be mindful of as we navigate this new territory?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is making sure that AI development is guided by diverse voices.
Okay.
We need to guard against too much power in the hands of just a few,
Right.
and make sure that AI development is a collaborative effort.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's about who controls it.
Exactly. And whose interests it serves.
We also need to be careful about biases creeping into AI systems.
Yes, definitely those biases could make existing inequalities even worse.
Right. And we need to think about the impact of AI on jobs, on privacy, on our society.
These are complex issues with no easy answers.
It sounds like we need to be having a lot more conversations like this one.
I agree.
Bringing together people from tech ethics policy.
We need to ask tough questions and challenge assumptions.
Right.
And work together to create a future where AI empowers us, not the other way around.
So it's not just on the shoulders of tech experts and policymakers.
No, it's about all of us.
We all have a role to play.
The future of AI is not predetermined. It's something we are creating right now.
Wow.
And the more we understand about AI ethics, the better we can guide it.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
This is just the beginning of the story.
Yeah.
But if you had to leave our listeners with one key takeaway, what would it be?
The future of AI is not something that's happening to us.
Okay.
It's something we are creating.
Right.
And the more we talk about AI ethics,
Yeah.
the more likely we are to create a future where technology actually serves humanity.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
So to our listeners out there, keep this conversation going.
Yeah.
Talk to your friends, your family, your colleagues.
Read about AI ethics.
Yeah. And explore those resources. We'll link in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, make your voices heard.
Demand that ethics are at the heart of AI.
The future of AI is in our hands.
Let's work together to make sure technology helps us be our best selves.
That's it for this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of AI ethics. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring.